Pull up a stool and pour yourself a pint as you're about to join three intrepid drinkers, Kevin, Justin, and Mark, as they embark on another Beertastic voyage.
Hi, everybody. I'm Justin.
I'm Mark.
I'm Bryan.
You are Bryan.
And this is another episode of Beertastic Voyage.
Yup. Today we are with Bryan Malone again. If you're hearing this, we wedged this episode in somewhere.
I was going to say time warp. I'm sure we had a wardrobe change.
Something like that. Yeah, we're recording.
Behind us.
We have Bryan here, and he's the one who procured these beers for us. We're going to do a future episode on the same brewery that I'll get to in a second because we have three.
Or maybe it's in the past.
Beers. Could be.
Who knows?
Yeah, we just don't know. This episode is happening in some nebulous time.
We're filling the can.
In some nebulous place.
Fourth dimension.
Yeah, it's definitely in the fourth dimension.
We're like a major Hollywood studio here, and we're putting shit on the shelves and releasing it a year and a half after filming ended.
What we're going to do is we're going to kill Mark, and all of this is going to be worth way more.
Good idea.
I don't understand how that works out, but okay.
From what I understand, in Hollywood, when someone dies, it doesn't matter if their movies are dog shit. Everyone loves them after that.
Like the Kane from Citizen Kane?
Yeah.
The Simpsons reference.
Yes, we both definitely get that, yes. Alright. So, anyway, now that we told you that we're currently in the fourth dimension, we are doing some classic styles from Yee Haw Brewing.
Yee Haw!
God damn it, I knew you were going to do it, but it still threw me off. Johnson City, Tennessee.
It didn't occur to me until when I did it. So.
Yeah, I had a feeling that once I said it, that someone...
What happened? I blacked out a little bit.
Well, a man!
Yeah, exactly. That's why I thought you would do it. So, I'm going to pass off to Bryan because he was fucking there and he brought us back to beer. So instead of me just rambling about what I think Tennessee's like, tell me.
It was warm. It was nice. Had a lot of pollen.
Very
large bees. A lot of traffic. A Krispy Kreme around the corner from where we were staying, which was convenient. There was a few breweries within the area where we were staying. We were at one of their satellite locations, or Yee Haw was in Pigeon Forge, which is, like I mentioned earlier, Christian Vegas.
Yeah.
Christian Vegas.
Yeah, there's no like real gambling, but it has the same lights and glamour feel to it. Very touristy, but we go to like national parks, me and the wife, for fun. So we went to the Great Smoky Mountains,
Nice.
which is right outside of that. So we also went to like Gatlinburg, which is like more closer to the park inside there, and that's pretty much it.
Okay, now more about Yee Haw Brewing.
It was small, quaint. Went there early. It was like 10 a.m.
It's a little morning drinking.
Wow, they were open that early?
Yeah. It was like a
Shit, because like...
So it really is Christian Vegas, because those are Vegas hours.
Yeah, because honestly, like, on July 5th, like, my office is closed, my wife's going to play hooky, we're going to have a date day without the children, we're going to put them in daycare because we're paying for it anyway, so why not? And, like, we're trying to figure out what the fuck we're going to do, and, like, nothing opens until 3.
Yeah, I can swear it was like 10 or 11 in the morning. I was like, sure, I'm on vacation.
Look, did you have breakfast?
No. I might have had a donut that day. I don't really recall.
That counts.
That would count.
Yeah, no. 330 pounds, so when singular donut counts. But
Look, I didn't ask if you were full. I just asked if you had breakfast.
So, but me and the wife on this vacation was kind of like half vacation, half like brewcation or whatever. So, like, we did hit every brewery that we could, like, within a...
Yeah, you definitely made lots of stops.
Yeah, on Facebook I saw the stops, and then when you brought back the box of beer that we've been working through, including the Wicked Weed episode that came out, definitely before this one. Maybe a year before this one. We don't know. Fourth dimension. So, it was a brewery, that's why you guys stopped? Did you get a recommendation to go there? Or you look, beer.
It was one of the only breweries, like, in the town of Pigeon Forge.
Okay.
And then there's, like, Gatlinburg Brewery, Smoky Mountain Brewery, which also brought some of those beers back.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
But
Or maybe we already drank them. Who knows?
Yeah.
Fourth dimension. I'm going to say that a lot.
The horse isn't dead yet, so I'm going to keep beating it.
Just gotta be careful, it's illegal in some states.
Bestiality is a sin.
So, like I mentioned, we have at this moment we have 6 beers from them. I picked 3 for this episode, and I decided to go with the essentially classic styles. Kind of what I think most people would order when they go to a brewery. We have a Kolsch, we have a Pale Ale, and we have an IPA. In addition to that, in either before or after this, we will have or will drink. We have or will drink.
Or already drank. Who knows?
Possibly. A Dunk of Ice, a liquor warmer, and I can't remember.
Scotch ale.
Exactly, and Scotch ale. Perfect. And I thought those were a little bit more outside the box. I thought it'd be fun to work on some classics.
I'm always happy to drink Kolsch.
I know, me too. And this Kolsch is particularly good.
I haven't brewed one in a fuck ton of time.
Yeah, that really should be like next on the list.
I know, but there's so many other things that I absolutely have to do first.
I know. It's the life of a home brewer is constantly brewing for shit.
We haven't even figured out what the fuck we're gonna brew for Taps and Talons yet.
Maybe we'll do a Kolsch just to get you in back into the Kolsch mode.
Actually, you know what? Honestly, that would probably be like a good beer for that festival.
I agree.
It's not weird enough to kick, but
Maybe we'll take 2.5 gallons and we'll do something fucked up to it to bring to the festival.
Going back to the horse thing.
Thankfully, no. Anyway, Mark and I will work out.
Laura still rides, right?
Yes. What kind of Kolsch we're going to bring to Taps and Talons, and maybe you already drank it. So, the Kolsch, this is a really classic Kolsch. I think this is pretty spot on. I mean, aroma-wise, I'm getting those floral and herbal type hops, and then flavor-wise, I like the cracker malt character. The bitterness might be, and you know.
I think the bitterness is a little too. Yeah, I think the bitterness is a little too high. But maybe it's just at the upper end of what's allowable for the style. But in general, like the thing that amazes me the most about this is the clarity.
Yeah, if you look at it from the bottom, you think you're drowning. Like if you look at it from the underneath the glass, it looks like you're like completely drowning. You can see right through the top.
Because that was what struck me when I poured this out of the can initially was just how clear it was, because you don't often get a commercial beer, even from larger breweries, that's this clear.
That's very true. When, how does I don't know if you drank it out of a can when you were there, or if you even had this when you were there. But
We did one of everything that was on tap.
I know you normally do, that's why I asked. So you had this Kolsch then?
Sure. I remember I did one of everything on tap. So.
Right. What are your impressions of it? I mean, this is along the lines of beers that I think that are up your alley in terms of your styles you normally drink. So
it's definitely something that's enjoyable. I don't necessarily know now, as I've gotten more into craft beer, that it would be something that I would drink, like to enjoy. But like if I'm going to a party or something like that, where pick up a 6-pack of this, and I would be able to drink all 6 whenever, but not something I would sit down around like the fire in the backyard and have 1 or 2.
Yeah.
Like you're going to go for something with a different style. I feel like, at least now that I've gotten into craft beer.
Yeah, right. So it's perfectly serviceable, but not necessarily what you would pick if given the choice.
Like if I had these in my fridge at home and I was going out fishing, this is probably what I would take. Because I drank 4 pints of like a 10% rye IPA when we were in Montauk. I was like, oh man, out for like 4 hours. I drank like 4 or 5 of them, and I was just like, all right.
I have to pee a lot. My head hurts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Out in the sun all day, not catching a thing. But it was nice out there.
Yeah, I mean, this is 4.7. This is it's Kolsch. Like it's one of those things that it's positive.
Yeah.
This is a Kolsch. Like I said, the bitterness is probably on the upper end of the spectrum, but it also cleans the palate nicely and doesn't linger. It's not a lingering bitterness.
Yeah, and like that's honestly splitting hairs. I've definitely had Kolsch's that was like, oh no, this is like way too bitter for a Kolsch.
Yeah, and it doesn't have the hop flavor. I find a lot of times with Kolsch's like that, it'll be bitter. In addition to that, they clearly threw like a really late addition in just to make it more like a NEPA Kolsch situation.
It's like I really wanted to brew a pale ale, but I didn't want to call it a pale ale because I already had one of those on the board. So
it really feels like umlauts. So I decided. All right, so we're gonna rate this, and just out of nowhere, I'm going to say that our rating system is really stupid, and you should, drink these beers for yourself if you have the opportunity. We're rating how much we like to drink in one sitting, and it's a taster, a pint, a bomber, a growler, or a keg.
Sometimes waffles.
Yeah, sometimes we talk about cooking with it and other random shit, which just tells you how loosely based this rating system really is. So, Bryan, what is this?
Situational.
Okay.
Today, 1. Fishing, 6. 12.
So today you're gonna give it a pint.
I'm gonna call that a
Yeah.
pint.
Yes, that's fine. We'll go with the pint.
I'm not going to have a way to drink it, but I wouldn't, throw it out of bed.
All right, there you go. You definitely fucked the can though, right? Like for sure. Yeah.
You got it.
The throw out of bed reference is where I went with that.
He was typing. He's thinking about the horse again, isn't he?
Okay. Anyway, I will give this one a bomber. I actually really enjoy it.
Okay, Kevin.
You also apparently people think you're Kevin, and now you think I'm Kevin. So for me,
It's just like an autopilot typing over here. I'm like, okay.
it's very clean, and I think the bitterness actually adds a little bit of complexity to everything that I enjoy, whether or not it's expected for style or not.
I agree with you. It's a bomber for me. After that second one, I'm gonna want something else just because.
It's one notey.
Yeah, it's definitely thirst quenching, crisp, but after 2 glasses, I'm gonna want a different flavor.
Wish I had better descriptors like you guys got.
Yeah, well, be a psychopath, and start studying to be a beer judge. And
Unfortunately, all I got is pickled parts.
listen,
Or
I've told you so many times, your descriptors are really good, and the same thing with a couple of people in the classroom. Their descriptors are really good. It doesn't mean that you don't have to use like standard descriptors. It's not like a list of descriptors you have to use. There's some that make more sense than others, but you could definitely, without question, judge beer, without a doubt.
This is another one that has like
Dude,
crazy clarity.
that's nuts. It is really clear. Really nice head on it. Kind of an off-white head, and laces the crap out of the glass. I'm going to imagine this is going to be a fairly malty pale ale just by looking at it.
The scent, that's all you're getting.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that
Sweet malt.
this ought to be like an American Amber.
It's definitely a little dark for the pale ale spectrum in terms of like style.
And look, I know the only difference between a pale ale and an amber is the fucking color.
Right. I mean, an amber can have a little more aggressive on the hops, but yeah, it doesn't have to be. You're right. The crossover there is big.
I've only drank these out of a can. Like, I went to a horseshoe tournament and I brought a bunch of these with me in a cooler, so I was drinking them out of the can, So I actually never noticed the color.
On the aroma, it I don't know. It's maybe a background of like slightly grassy hop.
Yeah, there's not a lot going on in the aroma.
I feel like I'm getting a little bit of like sweet raisin or something.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. That's there, but in general, it's not super aromatic.
No, and flavor-wise, honestly, I definitely get more of an amber flavor. I get more of a kind of red malt type flavor than I get that crisp pale ale.
Yeah, I feel like the Kolsch had was more pale ale-ish in the bitterness and crispness than their actual pale ale. Not to say that it's bad, it's just
It's sweet for a pale
not
ale.
what I expected.
And it's not sweet in like like a sherry oxidized way or anything. I don't think there's anything wrong with the beer. I just think it's I love drinking this. This is fucking fantastic.
Yeah, I would say like this is really evenly balanced between the malt and the bitterness, because it does have some sweetness, but there's just enough bitterness there where it finishes pretty crisp. Like there's not like a lot of lingering sweetness.
It's strange. On the nose, all you really get is sweetness, but not in the flavor, really. You get a little bit, but then it kind of balances out.
Yeah, and there's not a lot of hop flavor. It's just bitterness, but there's enough. Yeah, there's enough of it there that it is not cloying.
Yeah, I enjoy this. I mean, it is 1,000% on a pale ale, but it's an incredibly good beer. Rating wise, I don't know. I'm kind of in between. I want to think about it. Somebody else go.
I've had 3 of them in a sitting, so.
You go bomber on
Yeah,
that, I guess.
yeah.
You roughly evens out to a bomber.
Yeah.
Fishing, it's like a 20 rack or something.
Yeah. Fishing or golf, 18. Unfortunately, you can't get this beer unless you go there. So, or live down there. I assume they when you put in their website like your zip code, they're like, sorry, you live too far away. You're like, I'm glad you have interest in us. I'm like, all right, cool. But I'm not driving another 1,000 miles to go get it.
Yeah, right.
Again.
This one's 5.7, so it's actually even for a pale ale. A little, I mean, it's in the wheelhouse. A little on the higher end of the spectrum for a pale ale, but
I think like 6 is the.
the top end.
Yeah.
That's why it's 5.7.
I mean, for me, I'll stick at the bomber. It's kind of close. It's like I almost might go growler on it, but I'll stick with the bomber. It's really good, really well balanced, very drinkable. Just not what I expect from a pale ale, but still pretty good.
Yeah, it's one of those. I think it's one of those things where when you say the word pale ale and you give someone this, it doesn't it's really good.
My biases are confused.
Right, you have to like go back and kind of go, this is a beer. Do I like this beer? Not is it a pale ale? And I enjoy it. I was also between the growler and the bomber. I'm going to end up with bomber as well. It the little bit of bitterness that sort of hangs in on my palate, and it might also be a build from the Kolsch as well. Keeps you from rating it much higher than that. My Mark muppets the shit out of it. That's going to be a new part of the rating system. Is it muppetable?
I don't have children. What does this mean?
You know what a muppet is, right?
Henson?
Yeah. Their heads fold back like this.
I thought hands of butts. First thing I thought.
No, it's not that we want to fist it. It's
Not some terrible memes that your aunts shared on Facebook.
no. So the next one we have is their IPA. And one of the things I want to point out, I really like their kind of simple but even packaging. Like when you're going into your refrigerator, if you have a bunch of their beer, you're like, blue is pale ale, yellow is Kolsch. Yellow, by the way, is always Kolsch. If anyone's noticed this, like even the Chimney Creek and Mill Roadhouse, both of their Kolsch's were in yellow cans.
It's true.
Seems to be a thing. Dieter, like the yellow packaging, the yeast.
So I'm going to bring the reference back to earlier. What color is that can to you?
That's blue.
That's blue.
Okay.
It's still blue for you?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm just checking. Oh, yeah. He's wondering if you're going to say purple.
Do you want me to go grab one of the bottles out of the box?
Yeah, that's all right.
Okay.
Did it off mic.
Oh, we'll argue on mic about this because this is still something we argue about. We haven't come to an agreement on the color. And in fact, somebody put this. I think that my wife agrees with you and your wife agrees with me, if I remember
Well,
correctly.
you two should marry.
The two of us?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's for sure. For sure, he's my gay husband. But if I go anywhere without Mark, not so much now anymore because they're used to like me going places without Mark. But in the beginning, if I went to any of the beer events without Mark, they'd go, "Where's your boyfriend?"
When I first met you, I thought Mark was fake.
Yeah, that's true.
But you wouldn't. I would always say, "Oh yeah, my friend Mark, the guy I brew with Mark," and everyone's like,
Yeah.
"Is Mark in your pocket?" Like,
Yeah. We've never seen him.
Yeah.
Why doesn't he come to
The
the
first time
bar
you
show?
showed up, I was like, "Oh, that's Mark."
Yeah, he does exist.
He is the power bottom, I guess.
but why do you think he's a power bottom?
I just like using the word out loud.
Oh, okay. I like saying sloppy power bottom personally.
Different websites, I guess.
Clearly, lemonparty.com or .net, I can't remember. Aroma-wise, again on this one, the aroma seems very low for the style. You definitely get the, again, resin, grass, kind of standard West Coast style situation.
Yeah, but you gotta look for it.
Yeah, you definitely have to hunt. Not a lot of mall character.
And these beers aren't super cold, so it's not like they're too cold.
No, they're not murdered. They think they're actually like potentially slightly on the warmer side for them.
They're
But
real ale temperature.
yes, they are. That's true.
We live in America. We have refrigeration.
Yeah.
Flavor-wise, though, there is definitely a firm bitterness. Not a kind of an attacking one, but it's firm on the palate. I keep saying I keep catching myself saying Sorry, everyone. Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna start meditating.
That's what you're calling that now?
Something like that. I can't tell if I like the bitterness or not. I think I kind of want a little more malt character in this beer.
Really?
All right,
If anything, I think it needs more hops.
At least hopper, like
flavor.
It needs more hop character.
Yeah, it's like kind of like a generic just bittering hop. There's no like.
Yeah, exactly.
aromatics
Like,
to it,
there's
yeah.
no like hop aroma,
Yeah, it's bitter.
hop flavor. Like, it's got a firm bitterness, but it's like the predominant flavor in this is still malt.
And
Yeah, you're right. Flavor wise, you're getting bitterness, but it's also you definitely get the
Like, I
kind of
don't-
doughy malt.
Yeah, like I don't taste like any spice or citrus or pine or anything.
I get a little bit of it, but it's more of a lingeringness on the palate that I get if I'm not drinking it. Like if I stop drinking it, it sort of builds a little on the back of my tongue. But it's
Yeah,
not,
okay.
Yeah, but again, it's not.
Yeah, right. There's a little bit there, but for something that's Yee Haw IPA, I
Yeah.
would expect more.
the thing is, they're fine Southern beers. I think what they're saying is on there. So I think it's their own style also, which I think is.
I think that's cool.
It's like
having not been there, if that's what
if-
they're saying, I dig that.
if you think of a lot of like south of like Georgia or whatever, can you really think of a lot of really good breweries?
So you're saying that we should get on the wave now and ride it to financial gain?
If it's the next New England, maybe.
We've had the Northeast IPA. We've had the Brewed IPA. Now it's time for the Southeast IPA.
I enjoy drinking it. It's just not quite an IPA. Actually, to be honest with you, I think this is pale ale.
Yeah.
It's got a residual bitterness, I think, that would push it to the IPA.
Does it have IBUs or anything on the can?
I don't think so. Let me double check. I can check the
Just
website
out
too.
of curiosity.
Yes, it does. 75 IBUs on the
What?
IPA. And,
I don't believe that.
30 on the pale ale. I believe that.
Yes. I don't believe 75 on the IPA.
20 on the Kolsch, which I don't believe.
No.
I say, is there dates on them?
Yes,
They're
there are.
aging out.
It's possible. There was a date on the other one.
When I buy them late May or something like that. But we don't know what time it is, right?
No, there's no date. There's no date. That was right.
We know when now is. We don't
Filming
know.
this in the past.
Yeah. Yeah. We're filming / recording this
Yeah, maybe.
about a month and a half after you purchase these.
Or maybe 6
What's
years.
film?
What's? Oh, shut up. Hate you, motherfucker. So let's.
There isn't film in there?
You don't see it just streaming through the webcam. Where are you rating this, Mark?
I give it a pint. I don't hate it, but it's like, again, this whole episode, my biases don't know what to make of it.
Yeah. So far, the Kolsch was pretty close. The pale ale, I think, was kind of a little off. Yeah, I would say this would definitely fit an IPA, but it's so much closer to me to an English IPA than it is to an American IPA.
Yeah, that's true. Like, it's not West Coast. It's not Northeast.
And they call it a West Coast on here. West Coast style hop.
No.
It's fine Southern beer.
They also say it's supposed to be straw colored. I drank all of mine. Is that straw?
Yeah, I'd say it's straw.
You would give that straw? Isn't straw the lightest? Isn't straw supposed to be like barely a fucking color? That to me is gold. For the record, for everybody out there.
Yeah, maybe like old.
For everyone out there, this is semantics. It doesn't really matter. It's more just it's always curious, especially because we brew. Like, when they describe something, is it that? This doesn't mean it's bad. It just means we're wondering. Citrus. And again, this could be aged too, because it says fragrance of citrus and pine. Who knows how long this can's been chilling out? No idea. Actually, I got it. I finally found it. I knew I had it. Best by 6/18/19, which we're just past.
Yeah.
So
Womp womp.
I'm going to think that the best by date on the can is probably at least 6 months after it was canned, if not more than that.
Yeah.
So
Maybe.
that probably has a lot to do with the color as well as the hop character and everything else.
I don't know about the color.
Who knows if the can was seamed super well?
Hey.
They all pop
Look.
when I collect them though. So.
Yeah, I know. Like, it's not a crowler. Like, this came off a line somewhere.
Yeah. I hear you. Again, good beers though. So far,
Oh, yeah.
for the
No.
first beer we've had from the company, I would say that this is not a fail.
The Dunkles, I feel like, and the Scotch Ale were probably their better ones.
And it also could be one of those breweries, like, if Mark and I opened a brewery, let's face it, our IPA and our Pale Ale would not be anywhere near as good as the other ones.
We
We would be putting it out, we would be half-assing the fuck out of those, because we don't care.
Oh yeah, no, like we'd be open for like 3 months before we're like, okay, I guess we gotta brew the fucking IPA so we can sell that shit to get money in.
Yeah, I know. Hopefully it would be one of those, like, we need a 5-barrel fermenter or something, we have to make money, let's make an IPA.
Everything. Doing your beers. No, not a good IPA. What was that running joke? It's like a Scotch Ale or something like terrible IPA.
Oh yeah. So that's the cool part. I figured this is either the second time, so you're now comparing this to the other beers, or in the future you will compare it and we can see what they do with different types of styles.
I think you and Bryan need to give it a rating still.
We do?
The IPA.
Oh, we do.
I'm gonna go bomber again just because I've had a bunch of them
Okay.
while playing horseshoes.
It's gonna be a pint for me, and it's actually kind of close to a bomber. I enjoy the mid-level bitterness on it. Kind of refreshing compared to normal West Coast IPA that I would probably give a taste or two. 'Cause I can't handle bitter. Bitter's not my thing.
I do not like West Coast style.
No. And this isn't calling everybody out. Like my remembrance of a West Coast IPA is the Taylor IPA from Ireland. Yeah, that's their West Coast one, right? No, that's their English IPA, right?
Yeah, Biller isn't that bad.
No. They have a West Coast. It's just called West Coast IPA. They're West Coast. Which I
don't think it's West Coast. I think it's just like Long Island IPA.
Yeah, something like that.
Because they're really creative with their names.
They have a West Coast style IPA, and
Or I should say, for like the first 6 years, they were really creative with their names.
My wife's favorite beer is like their chocolate porter.
Which I was
that is fucking heresy because they need to bring back their breakfast stout.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that. I like their chocolate porter. I'm not saying it's a bad beer. I definitely enjoy it.
She likes Hooligan too, whatever.
Hooligan is also a very good beer.
Hooligan is very good.
The best beer next to Black Friday that they've ever made for me is the breakfast stout, and they're on 5 now. They're on 5 from 5 of their beers.
5 of their 10.
Their 10 beers for 10 years. If breakfast stout doesn't make an appearance, I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on. Like it was there for so long.
Greg, Dan, what are you doing?
Come on, man.
Look in the camera when you say it.
It's got to be there.
Come on, man.
It's got to be done. I tell you, I would buy a flat of it. If they canned breakfast out, I would buy a flat of it.
Oh, yeah.
Without question.
Yeah, definitely.
It's phenomenal beer. Did you ever have the breakfast out? Or you weren't into it by the time when they were doing it. It's so good. It's so good that if they make it again, I probably won't.
It's so good that I would go and get a growler filled like weekly when I used to live out in Aquabog.
Fantastic beer.
It's the perfect location brewery-wise for me because I drive my own car there. Then we decide if we're staying, and it's like a $20 Uber ride home.
Gotcha.
So we'll stay there till they kick us out.
It takes a while.
A couple times we'll be drinking like one more beer and we're gonna go, or one more beer and we're gonna be here all night, and then we're there all night. You're like, oh man.
I have that. That's a big thing for me when I'm drinking. I know right away. I'm like, okay, one more beer and we're fucking drinking. Like that is the mission. We're drinking, and kind of like look around and gauge it, and I'm like, is anybody with me? Are we going streaking?
Yeah.
And it's usually a no. And then I'm like, I can't have another one. I can't do it. That's where I was yesterday when I was at Bryan's house.
Streaking?
No.
Oh.
I was already like going to be a half hour late getting home. It was just a bad scene. And I'm like, either I'm doing this or I'm not. And I kind of looked around and I'm like, I'm not doing this. I gotta go. So I drove home. But overall, in terms of your experience there, being that you won't be with us for the next time or for the last time that we did this, what was your thoughts on the brewery when you were there? You said you had one of basically everything that was on tap. When you left there, if you travel back down there, would you definitely go back? Would you go back if you had time?
I would definitely make it way down there, just because I feel like, for me, probably because I'm younger, most of my experiences are 90% the people I deal with, because every product is usually, at this point, pretty good. You know? And my thing is 90% service. If you're nice and you're polite and you talk to me or whatever, you're just a generally good person when I go somewhere, I will generally give you all of my business, if your product's crap. I'm not saying the product's crap. I'm just saying the bartenders that I had there and the experience that I had with even the people that were there, like other patrons, it was a very good experience. So I would definitely work my way back to that location. That's
a fair point too, because we had talked about that with judging. Like the person you judge with, if you woke up on the wrong side of the bed, if you're having a fight with your wife when you show up to judge, all that stuff clouds how you taste things and how you feel about whatever you're eating or drinking. So
that's why Long Island's my favorite brewery, just because every time I go there, I have a good time. The owners are great. The patrons are usually great. It's more of a bar atmosphere where you can socialize.
Yeah.
With more like other breweries, you're stuck to your own group, and you're just, oh, look at your kid, look at my kid. You're not what I'm talking about.
I have some lint in my pocket.
Exactly.
I got it with Cheez-Its. There's nobody with you kids eat now again.
I'm due for a little 10 grams. Yeah, I'm due for
Cheerios and Goldfish are the stereotypes.
Yeah.
But they sell those puffs now, right? In little tube cans.
Yeah, those two. Those are for hipsters though. I'm due for a Riverhead trip, like a Long Island mustache trip, and North Fork now. North Fork is every time I think about it, and that's why when we come back from NHC this coming Sunday, I'm going to go to North Fork's 1 year anniversary. I'm going to try to talk to Ian and get some a recording, for so we can talk about it in another episode. But that brewery is really like I don't hear enough people talk about it.
Yeah.
That place is amazing.
Yeah, they make some good stuff there. Plus, at some point, Rob Raffa is going to be opening up in the formerly Longbeard location. So,
What is that? Do we know a name for that?
I think it's Uber Geek.
That is a cool name. I'm into that name.
Is it brewery or
Yeah.
the name non-descriptive?
Yeah.
Rob Raffa was the head brewer at Mustache for
Okay.
several years.
Yeah, a little while. I don't know how long.
And then he left, and he's, from what I understand, he's opening up Uber Geek where Longbeard was supposed to open up. But I think he's just going to be doing like a tasting room, and I think,
Like Gypsy Brewing?
yeah, I think he's going to be contract brewing his beers with North Fork,
Okay.
having them
That's kind
produce
of
the
convenient.
wort for
That's a
him,
really
basically.
smart
Yeah,
idea. That's a very smart idea.
And just keep the fermenters on your side.
yeah, exactly, right.
Yeah.
Put a hole in the wall.
Exactly, just run a pipe,
Yeah.
pump that shit over.
Yeah, that is really cool. I hope that happens. Amazing. Either way, whether he brews there or does that, that's a great idea.
If people like ghosts, I heard the buildings are haunted.
Oh, really? Oh, that old firehouse?
Yeah, suppose the basement's really creepy.
Yeah, we weren't in the basement.
I look, I believe that.
I was there one time at later at night, and you could hear stuff happening around. You're like, this is I gotta get out of here. I don't need to be here anymore. I ain't afraid of no ghosts, but
But Dan Aykroyd keeps coming back.
He does. You guys, you remember? Do either of you remember Crystal Skull Vodka?
Mm-hmm.
Holy shit, that was
all I
creepy. I couldn't tell if he was trying to sell vodka or start a cult. During the infomercial, I really
He
couldn't
just
tell.
really needed the money.
Yeah, so bad.
I love that they all have their own liquor brands now. Every celebrity.
Yeah, that's really true. There's a Ron White. He's a comic.
Yeah.
He's got his own tequila. It is fantastic. I've had it. It's a phenomenal tequila.
Really?
Yeah. It's like a really good sipping tequila. It's not. It's like.
I don't know.
Tequila's a shot for most people, but.
Yeah, I just feel like that's off-brand for Ron White.
Yeah, you should be like
What?
a Scotch or a whiskey guy.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. I do see your point. Yeah,
Doesn't he
that's your
smoke
point.
cigars and drink whiskey?
Yeah.
But here's the thing, though. Tequila is way cheaper to make than whiskey or anything like that.
No, I know.
Asian
I'm
tequila
just
is-
saying,
that's why.
when somebody says Ron White to me, I don't think tequila.
No, that's true. It's fantastic though. You're right about that. He's had it for a while.
Honestly, I was not aware.
Man.
What's that?
P. Diddy's vodka.
I didn't even know. I didn't know if he did yet.
No, what's the one that are all flavored that really actually taste delicious? What is
Let's see here.
I haven't been to a club in a while.
Oh Jesus, club.
I've never been to a club.
Listen, I was at a club once, and I was trying to impress somebody, and we got bottle service, and I left that night. Oh yes, so he's not. It's not his. He just reps it. Yeah, I just did a Google P Diddy vodka. Yeah, exactly. But we got bottle service, and I was just trying to impress people, and I left there, and the bill, I was like, what even happened to me? Like, I just spent a paycheck here tonight, and this was worthless. And I hate the music. I hated being there. I was deaf when I left.
I went to a somewhat fancy bar once to see one of my friends play, except by the time I got there, they already were off the stage, so maybe that counts as a club, but other than that...
Were there underage women in short skirts and high heels?
I don't remember, honestly.
That would be a no, then. And then it wasn't a club.
Yeah, so I've never been, nor do I ever plan to.
Yeah, definitely not my thing. I would much rather go hang out at a brewery. Yeah, without question. So I want to thank you for the beers that you brought us, all of them.
Yes,
the ones
sir,
in the
indeed.
future, the ones in the past, the ones in the fourth dimension, the fifth dimension, fifth element, all of those things.
Multipass?
Yes.
I kind of wish I brought more home from the other vacation we went on when we went to Yellowstone. I did bring home that one sour, the raspberry,
Yeah.
but Laughing Sun or whatever it was. But didn't do it in this environment. But that was a really good beer.
Not a problem. I appreciate it.
I hope
Obviously,
to
if
make
you
it
go
out there
anywhere
at some
else, we'll do
point,
it.
so I'll find out from you
They're,
where.
they're one of the only few breweries in like Bismarck, North Dakota. They have 2 of them total, but they were like one of the only.
Fuck,
really-
I put you on vibrate.
I didn't say that's what she said again. Dang
It never doesn't work. So,
She said.
wherever everyone listening is, whatever dimension you're in, thank you for listening, and cheers.
Thanks.
If you enjoyed Beertastic Voyage, please be sure to subscribe wherever you get your podcasts, and don't forget to review and rate us. The guys can be found online at www.beertasticvoyage.com, on Facebook at www.facebook.com/beertasticvoyage, and Twitter and Instagram at Beertastic Show, or send them a good old-fashioned email at beertasticvoyage@gmail.com. Thanks for listening, and cheers for local beers.